Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
In this door, the mirror was broken, the door was damaged here, and then this fender is pushed in.
Nearly half of the 67 cars stored in a building on the Red River Valley Fairgrounds were damaged when part of the roof collapsed 2 weeks ago tonight. For some car owners, it still continues to be a bit of a nightmare. One of them told Valley News Team's Joshua Pagaro, "You can't replace the blood, sweat, and memories poured into the car."
Like most parents, Sean Luthi of Moorhead loves his kids. 12 years ago, his son and daughter helped him fix up a hard-to-find 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. It was a way to bond with them through his passion for vintage cars.
Something that I can share with my kids and then they can pass on to their kids.
His daughter fell in love with it.
She wants this car. She's determined to graduate and get a job and take me to car shows with this car when she gets older.
But those plans came to a screeching halt when Luthi's dream car was significantly damaged when the roof collapsed at the building where his dream car was being stored.
Broke this piece underneath the hood and dented the fender.
For 4 years, he stored his gem during the winter months inside Harvest Hall at the fairgrounds until heavy snow caused the roof to cave in.
Mirror was knocked off and it scratched the doors.
Luthi says he poured 15 grand into the car and bought it original.
The original factory paint. It still has the original wheels. It still has the original undercarriage and all that stuff. You don't find them like that.
This yellow caution tape is being used to block access to this area as the last remaining cars were removed on Thursday. 29 out of 67 cars stored inside the building sustained some damage.
We're very upfront and honest with them.
General Manager Brian Scholes says each car owner signed a contract with very clear language that the fairgrounds isn't responsible for damages.
That when they do sign the contract, that they need to make sure that they have proper insurance on their vehicle before they drop it off here.
Luthi says he had insurance on the Trans Am, and he plans to bring it back to its old glory. In Moorhead, Joshua Pagaro, Valley News Live.
If all goes as planned, the car should be fixed by next summer so Sean's son can drive it to the prom. The spider machines are quiet at Sandbag Central in Fargo following a lower flood crest now predicted for the Red River through the city. Fargo is now preparing for a crest of 39 feet and not the nearly 41 feet that had been a possibility. As a result, the city of Fargo is scaling back on its goal of filling 1 million sandbags. Leaders say 400,000 should be sufficient for the flood fight. However, if flooding projections change, they'll be ready to fill more.
If for some reason things do change and we have to have higher levels, Sandbag Central will still be set up and we can fire it back up if needed.
Filling sandbags is just phase one in the flood fight. City leaders tell us they'll soon need helping hands to deploy the sandbags. The river is at about 17 feet right now, but could be over 18 feet by Sunday. People still interested in helping are urged to contact Cass County or the city of Moorhead to help with their sandbagging efforts. If you're interested in getting involved, you can head to our website, valleynewslive.com, for details. William Barr plans to give Congress a special redacted version of the Mueller report by mid-April. The 400-page report submitted last week details the special results of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's 22-month Russia investigation. Last week, Barr released a summary saying it found Russia and the Trump campaign did not conspire during the 2016 presidential election.
This was a hoax. This was a witch hunt. I have absolutely nothing to hide, and I think a lot of things are coming out with respect to the other side, but I have a lot of confidence in the Attorney General.
House Democratic staff members were already anticipating the Barr would try to withhold portions of the report and have begun preparing to argue why they should receive the full report. The identity of the woman found dead in a house fire in Thief River Falls, Minnesota earlier this week has been released. The body of 23-year-old Alexandra Jo Ellingson was recovered from the home on the 300 block of Arnold Avenue. An autopsy confirmed that she died from asphyxiation. 23-year-old Devin Polzinski is charged with second-degree intentional homicide and first-degree arson. He's facing a maximum sentence of 40 years on the murder charge and 20 years for arson. He's being held on a minimum of $1 million bond. Bail has been set at $500,000 for the man accused of killing his son in a Fargo crash and seriously injuring his other child. Christopher Devine is charged with criminal vehicular homicide and criminal vehicular injury in the crash on South University Drive on March 23rd. Devine's medical records show his blood alcohol level was over 3 times the legal limit during that crash. 7-year-old Jason died as a result of his injuries. 5-year-old Brandon remains in critical condition. It's time for a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 33-year-old Ryan Forney is wanted for failing to register as a sex offender. You're urged to call your local law enforcement agency if you have any information on his whereabouts. A West Fargo police officer has been demoted after being found guilty for driving under the influence back in February. Off-duty Sergeant Ryan Dennis has been demoted from his supervisory position to a patrol officer. He'll also serve a 15-day unpaid suspension, which started today. It was March 20th that Sergeant Dennis pleaded guilty to actual physical control of a vehicle while under the influence of intoxicating liquor. Officer Dennis is also required to follow all sentencing requirements. We have a scam warning for you tonight. This time it's through Facebook. A Polk County resident received a friend request through Facebook Messenger from a scammer that was posing as a relative. The picture attached to the message was also of the relative. The resident was told about a deal where you could get thousands of dollars back as long as you give them money. They asked the resident to purchase Amazon gift cards and give a third party the numbers to start the process. Authorities say anytime you're asked to go to a local store and buy gift cards, it's a scam. Airbnb is back in the spotlight tonight after another guest found a camera hidden in their rental home. The couple now warning others to beware. Reporter Morgan Chesky has our story.
The listing promised a cozy and romantic getaway, but when Christian Aranda arrived with his girlfriend, their Airbnb felt off.
I see a smoke detector and I'm like, that looks fishy, so I go and I touch it and it's just dangling right there.
Dangling inside, a hidden camera pointed directly over the bed. Police say the device was off, no crime committed, but the couple reported it to Airbnb. The company gave a full refund, telling NBC News, policies prohibit hidden cameras in listings, and we take reports of any violations very seriously. We promptly removed this host. Airbnb clients have found cameras and light bulbs and even battery chargers.
You don't know who you're dealing with, and frankly, Airbnb doesn't know either.
After Paige Blair found 2 cameras at her Airbnb in plain sight, the company beefed up privacy policies. As for hidden cameras, like the one inside this smoke detector, Airbnb says they are strictly forbidden. Adding any security camera must be disclosed up front. But Aranda and his girlfriend say the rules did not stop their Airbnb host.
They ruined our entire night. They ruined our entire week.
Fears their private stay could have gone public.
Airbnb recommends that guests who have any questions about their rental, from where the towels are to how the security system functions, communicate openly with their host and work things out directly. North Dakota's Republican-led Senate has endorsed legislation that would ban the most commonly used procedure in second trimester abortions. Senators voting to approve the House bill today to outlaw the abortion procedure known as dilation and evacuation. Abortion rights groups argue that banning the procedure is unconstitutional because it interferes with private medical decisions. Similar laws in other states are on hold because of legal challenges. North Dakota's Senate has followed the House in approving a bill to allow school districts to designate an armed first responder. It requires participating school districts to create a plan to be approved by law enforcement and local school boards. Supporters say its focus is on rural schools without a school resource officer, since it takes law enforcement time to respond to an emergency situation. The president has overturned a proposal by the Secretary of Education to cut federal funding for the Special Olympics. Officials with Special Olympics North Dakota say people are given a chance to participate in sports like anyone else. In the state, federal grants are used to expand services into schools. One of the programs allows athletes with and without disabilities to compete together for their school. Special Olympics North Dakota has a budget of about $1 million that mostly comes from fundraising and donations.
Valley